It is now 5 p.m. And today we have the lovely Stephanie with us, also known as Lazy and Golden. Um, and let you tell a bit about that story because you say you have reclaimed the name Lazy.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
So when I first jumped on Substack, I've been about my business, Calidad Botanica, from day one. I never step outside of that. Like, that's my baby. That's all I want to talk about. But I feel that when I'm in my business persona, I'm a little bit different than when I'm in Stephanie. And Stephanie, excuse me, y'all, I'm getting over a flu. Stephanie is and has for a very long time been a consummate, like, overachiever. And what I learned through my spiritual journey is that always trying to be the go-getter and outwork everyone and be seen as the productive one was slowly killing me,
Mhm.
if I'm honest.
Mhm.
And so I decided, you know what? I'm not going to be productive Stephanie. I'm going to be lazy Stephanie.
Mhm.
And the reason why I chose that word is because I am also a cannabis user,
Mhm.
and I've had to deal with the stigma of that for so long. And I thought, what word kind of like parallels weed in terms of motivation? And I said lazy. I said, let me reclaim that word to mean rested. Um, and so I'm in my 50s. I'm 51 years old. So I'm a golden girl, but I'm also lazy, but not in a bad way. I'm
Mhm.
lazy and arrested, very firm in my boundaries, type of way. And so
Mhm.
that's where lazy and golden came from. In a nut.
Beautiful. I love that because I was about to ask you about the golden because I thought it was just because you're a ray of sunshine. But the 51, okay, that makes sense. A golden girl. I love that. And that resonates with me. Greetings, y'all, thank y'all for joining. I'm
Hey,
sorry. I'm probably not gonna have the time to like speak to everybody as y'all come in, so please forgive me. But that resonates a lot because that go-getter mentality, I know I had that too when I was in the matrix. Like, that's what I call the work world, the matrix, because it's just not real. um, and so that gives you burnout. And I got burnout like 3 times. So I love that you've reclaimed that, that you're leaning into it and embracing the beauty of aging too, because a lot of people put a stigma around that and try so hard to just stay youthful.
yes.
Yes. And, I remember the first time I saw you pop up, I think in a live and then, like, pop up in my, um in my subscriber chat. I just saw this gold face, and I was like, "Lazy and golden, what is that about? Like, who is this person?" Um, but then as I got to know you and you started, like, actually posting, I was like, "Okay, this is a real person. Let me tune in and let me check in." And then you started talking about something that I love a lot, plants. Talking about plants, talking about growing and connecting to the earth. And I also know that you have background in Trinidad. Were you born there or born in California? Like, what's the relationship like?
So my maternal ancestry is from Trinidad Tobago.
Okay.
I was born in Redding, California, which is rural northern California. I'm biracial. My mom is Trinidadian. My dad is a white boy from East Oakland of German descent. Okay.
The Germans.
So I'm German and Trinidadian.
Okay.
It would take too long for me to explain how they got together. The best way I can describe it is a Bronx Tale. If you've seen that movie, you'll get it. If you haven't seen that movie, it's a great flick. Go watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that. I gotta watch the Bronx Tale. And so, what inspired your love for the earth? Was it because I know you talk about your grandma a lot. Um, or was it just in that rural area that it was just there?
Yeah, so, I was born in Redding, California. It's very rural.
Mhm.
Um, we kept chickens. We had a like a not I won't say a great vineyard, but my dad built like a above ground pool. We had an above ground pool because it gets really hot, like 110 in the shade in Redding. And he built a above ground pool with a deck and like a gazebo over it. And he
Mhm.
planted the most sweet, succulent grapevines to give shade. And so
Mm.
we had grapes. We had a full garden. When I tell you, we didn't want for nothing. And so living in that way, growing up in that way, like we would hatch our own chicken eggs. I would like we harvested our chicken meat too. Like I would like literally hold the chicken by its tail, by its feet and its neck, and my dad would chop the neck. And then I'd let it go and it would run all around the yard until it had all the way, the life had gone from
Mhm.
we would pray over it
Mhm.
and we would nail it to with this tree and let it bleed out and do the whole thing.
Mhm.
So from a very young age, I've been in the soil. And my dad is also like one of those outdoorsy type people. Like basically my parents were hippies, okay?
I was about to ask, are they
Yeah.
hippies?
I was born in 1974.
Oh, yeah.
My, my dad was on some free love type shit.
Peace.
My daddy had jungle fever, okay?
You said it, not me.
And they got together and made me, right? Now it didn't last. They did separate, but I spent every summer with my dad and we would go hiking and fishing and camping up in the Shasta Trinity area of California. And it's just beautiful up there. It's like literally God's country.
Mhm.
Like volcanoes and a lot of Native American land there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my dad just always encouraged me to, like, lean into what I loved, and I was, like, the queen of the mud pie. Like, I would be outside playing in the dirt all day long. That's all I wanted to do,
I
and
love it.
so it never left me. Even when my parents divorced and we moved, my mom and my brother and I moved to Oakland, and I was in the urban area, I was still making mud pies in the backyard and trying to find a way to connect with nature. It's just like to me, nature, being outside is church.
Mhm. It is.
Yeah.
It's the greatest form of communion. I always say that. Like, I always say that. And you can learn so much about yourself from studying nature. And what I always remember what Babalawo said during our cohort. He said that when you study nature, you are also studying God and how spirit moves too. And that was something that was so affirming to me because it wasn't something I necessarily learned from a teacher. It's just something that I always felt and just knew innately just from being outside. So, talk to me a little bit about because I think like, when we met, you joined the live, and I was talking on the live, and you said, "You know what? Imma sign up for the cohort." I wanna know what made you say yes to it, and we'll go a bit about your experience since you've been in it too.
Mm. Okay. Well, so when I came back to when I so I had been on a solitude journey for all of 2025, like
Mhm.
off social media altogether. Like shut it down. Like I didn't I might have deactivated my Instagram, but I didn't like delete it. I just deactivated it because it was my business page and I didn't want to like totally throw it away. But I knew I needed to come I had to deal with some shit, okay? That's the only way I could deal with it. But I didn't like the way I smelled and I was like, I'm gonna work this out, okay? So I had been on a solitude journey. When 2026 happened, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling like I'm ready to get back out into the world, but I want to do it very intentionally. And what I don't like about Instagram is all the ads and all the violence that you're constantly exposed to. Like you can't avoid it. But I'm an avid reader. Like I love books. I'm not going to show y'all because my altar is also mixed within the books, but I have books everywhere. Like, I read everything. I just eat it up. And I found Substack because people are writing articles. And for me, because I love to read, I'll get a book, like a novel, and be up till 3 o'clock in the morning reading because I'm so into it. But on Substack, you get these short little blurbs. And so I could read a little bit before I go to bed, fall asleep, put the phone down. And it was so I said, I'm going to do Substack. But then I got on there and I was like, if you're going to do this social media, if you're going to be out here in this internet, in these interwebs, you got to do it intentionally. So look for people who resonate with you. And I don't remember exactly what it was that you posted, but you posted something and it spoke to me in a way that I was like, okay, I got to see what this is. And so it's interesting. And we could probably talk about this more offline. Like, we need to talk about this more offline. But Kyle said he knew you.
Oh.
He said he had met you before because I was on your live and he was like, is that Mandisa? Like, he knew your voice. But there's more to that. We'll go into that later.
We gotta talk about that for real.
Anyway, so you were doing the sound healing, I think, the first time, and I was like, oh, I like this. This feels good to me. And then I think Misha reposted something that you had said, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hop back on another one of her lives. And so, long story short, I got on there and you started talking about the cohort, and it was just like, it was like a nudge from spirit. Like, try it. And I was like, nah, because I don't know her, $300, the fuck. But then something said, but then, but then something said no. Like, you need to connect. You need some real, like, sister friends, and you still have work to do, Stephanie. Invest in yourself. Go ahead, give it a try. It's $300. You got it. Like, you'll spend that on some fucking plant lights or something. Like, come on, Stephanie, keep it a buck. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna sign up. Like, I listen to the, unlike a lot of people, when Spirit whispers, I listen. Okay. So I signed up. I didn't know what I was getting into. I had no idea. But I knew I was in the right place when the very first workshop that we had, week 1, we did womb healing. Because that was something I was really, really, really struggling with. Because as a Scorpio, my whole phase was epic, okay?
Not a Scorpio, but same.
And so it was a lot that I needed to release. Because you think you do it like, I'm a yoni steam and I'm a pray but you ain't really releasing shit unless you do it intentionally. And so after that first week, I was like, okay, I'm safe here. I'm seen here. I'm heard here. I'm gonna rock with it. And not only that, but it was like, when do you really get the chance to sit down with women? I didn't know if I was gonna fit because, like, I'm the granny of the bunch, but not really, because I have a very youthful spirit. And also, I'm kind of like a class clown in a lot of ways. And that doesn't always resonate with people who are, like, really serious about healing. I feel like healing can be done, but it don't gotta be like Nam Yoho Renge Kyo all the time, Like, we could laugh.
Right.
Real shit. So when I saw that I was able to be my authentic self around y'all, I was like, oh, I fuck with it. I fuck with it.
Yes, and laughter is healing, first and foremost. And those who may have issues with the $300, there's a scholarship. There's one for a full ride, one for half off, and one for energetic exchange. So I'm working with budgets this time around. Okay. So, make sure if y'all are interested, I'll link it in the it's the post I put up yesterday, but I also link it in this live when I post it. But, yes, my first I just always said that we have to start with womb healing. It has to be the way opener for us to do this because we're gonna be talking about the first week, we also talk about decolonizing the mind and deconstructing codependency. And a lot of that stuff lives in our womb area because we see it with how we give birth to things, birth to our creations. It can be very colonized mindset or very codependent. Like, what's this mine is mine, and I don't wanna let it go. It belongs to me. It's me, me, me. And it's like when you create something, it belongs to the community. Like even when I created the cohort, it was always spirit-led because like I told y'all, it was something that Ifa was like, "This is what you need to be focusing on." And then 2, I had to keep in mind when I do this, it's also gonna be us like, it's together. Like, it's a co-creation together once you create something. It's always gonna be the case. And so, I'm always intentional about making sure we as women are starting things and leading things with the womb opener. So I was so grateful that everybody was open to it and in tune with it because that can also be a very triggering space for people to start with. And but y'all took to it just like that. And I I was intrigued with it, but that like okay, so my question is this. Since starting, I know we're on like week 8 now. I think. We're about to go into week 8. What has been your favorite thing so far that you've experienced?
You already know what Imma say. The Vipassana meditation. Nigga, how did I go 51 years on this three-dimensional realm and never know about that shit?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm a weed smoker, okay? I like to get high. I like to feel elevated. I like that dopamine rush. There's not a person in this world who doesn't like the dopamine rush. That's why each and every one of y'all are on this device right now because
Mhm.
feeding that dopamine need that you have. The first time I did Vipassana, when I came up out of it, I was so high. I was like, wait a minute, I ain't smoked. Why am I high right now? And then I talked to you about it and you was like, oh yeah, I done tried weed, I done tried mushrooms. You could do all of that with your brain chemistry. That's what Vipassana is for.
Mhm.
And I was like,
Mhm.
to tell me I could get high without smoking. And so that's when I committed to doing it every day. And I did it for 15 days straight. And when I tell you some of the experiences that I had during Vipassana, they was a little scary, but it showed me that my mind and my connection to spirit is real and it's very powerful, but I have to get in tune with myself. And by just focusing, learning how to focus, like learning how to tune everything out, all the distractions of the world out, focusing on my breath, scanning my body. Like, I had that thing with my shoulders and my
Mhm.
capstone and I couldn't figure it out. Vipassana helped me with that. The other thing that would probably be my second favorite part is just the women that are in the cohort with me. Like, everybody showed up,
Mhm.
willing to be vulnerable. And that's what I've been looking for the longest. Now, part of it is my fault, and you know why? Because I've
Yeah.
been, a little imposter syndrome for a while.
Mhm.
But because I showed up authentically and was able to just throw my cards out on the table, everybody else did the same. And I was able to find community in a place that I really least expected it. And I know that we're probably going to be connected for the rest of our lives because of it.
Mhm. Yeah, y'all aren't getting rid of me.
That's
Sorry.
sorry.
Like, you could be like, "Screw Mandisa, I'm calling you, Stephanie." Let's talk. But I'm glad okay, fun fact. When I was trying to get the schedule for everybody to be like, "Y'all, when do y'all wanna meet?" Steph
Don't tell that story. Oh my God. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
it was so funny. Stephanie was like, "Mm-mm, we gotta meet early because if we meet I don't wanna be high. I wanna be sober for this."
Over. Yeah.
She was like, "If we meet late, I can't go 12, 1 o'clock without smoking, so we gotta meet early." I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "Y'all, can y'all" had to make some rearrangements, but it worked out. And honestly, I think the early is the best because spirit is still communicating in those wee hours of the day. You know? We're still kind of connected to our source at that time. We haven't had our first interactions with the world. It's like we're grounded and more receptive to what we're learning because we're going through some heavy topics, and it's called embodying spirit. Mm. And I'm glad you brought up the topic about drugs and like what I said because I remember my first experience with shrooms. I took it expected like woohoo, like something I've never experienced before, and then I took it and I was like, and I saw all these things, and don't get me wrong, it was everything, but it was the exact same thing I do and I see when I commune with my ancestors in a particular way. So I was like, this is I get it, but I don't think people realize that they can do this on them for themselves, like without drugs. And that was my biggest thing with the spirituality is because a lot of people feel like you have to get high or be high to access some um aspects of spirit. And there are even people who drink and feel like they have to drink to access some aspects of spirit. And it's just not the case. And that's why I feel like it's so important for people to have alternatives and to be aware of them. Um and I'm always pushing for people to go within self first before they try to experience with the drugs, especially when it comes to the shrooms and the other psychedelics that they have out there. Because trust me when I say y'all, I know the way to go within without the drugs. You will get high, you will experience all of that. You do not need drugs. And and I'm not shaming it. I get it. If you like it, do it. I'm all for it. It's just like it's not the only way. Like our potential as people, as whole beings here, like we have the power to access it for ourselves. And that was one of the reasons too why I felt the need to offer like the mindfulness path that I was so grateful that you joined on because it's like it's this quarterly subscription or this program where we do Vipassana, we have the live sessions, there's mindful documents and resources that are sent. There's a daily devotional that I send. There's live meditations that you can join in on, recordings that you can get that I send weekly, and it's quarterly. It's on $88 per quarter. If those who are interested, but it's designed to help people access their own high. You know what I mean? Access your own because for me, I think when people think about mindfulness, it's like, oh, it's another task to do, or it's just something that the Buddhist people might think of. But it's something that accesses us to our spiritual selves and our development, and it really gains our or grows our senses. Um, so with you when it comes to mindfulness, how has that process and like seeing that in your day-to-day being because I know that you were talking about your anger magic that we like to talk about. Them people at that job, the clear people.
My
How
cousins, yes. Them people, the melanatedly challenged people, yes. My tribe, yes, them.
how has
Yeah,
mindfulness helped you navigate and like be present with that? Because people are gonna people all the time.
yeah. So, excuse me, y'all. I'm still got this lingering cough.
Mhm.
I will say this. Part of me part of the reason why I signed up for the mindfulness path was because I was having anxiety about the fact that the cohort was about to come to an end, and I was like, "Well, how am I supposed to get my my Vipassana, my connection, my community around this mindfulness journey?"
Mhm,
And so when you said, "Oh, Imma offer this," I was like, "Oh, I'm there."
mhm,
$88 a quarter, that's nothing. Um, I if I for people who cannot afford the cohort and who don't qualify or receive the scholarship, the mindfulness path is the way to go, and Imma tell you why. Because I don't know how you do it. Maybe it's because you're in a different time zone than me, but you almost seem to always post the daily reflection, the prompt
mhm,
right when I'm getting up. So, first thing in the morning, I'm still in that, like, what do you call I'm still in the ethers. I'm still in my spiritual mind, and I'm being challenged to look at myself with a prompt. The things that are coming to me are very healing. They're very affirming. I don't know, like, you are definitely the baby granny, the young elder, okay? We've confirmed that. But it's like the synchronicity, like how it's like the day before I could have been dealing with something, and then the next morning, the prompt speaks to that. How that happens, I don't know, but I'm running with it, okay? I fuck with it the long way and the strong way. And then for me, I'm able to do the Vipassana, like, on my own, and I do. I'm consistent with it. I've switched from the mornings to after work because it helps me to, like, decompress from being in that toxic corporate environment, but at the same time, when I'm able to get on one-on-one with you and do it, or even if others join, it doesn't matter. For me, it's a situation where I know I have that, almost like therapy, you know? I know I have that to look forward to. So when I am in those situations that are stressful, that kind of trigger my anger magic, I'm able to say, you know what? Y'all can have that. I'm gonna go home and do my Vipassana.
mhm,
No. So yeah, for anyone who thinks like the actual cohort is maybe too much of a commitment, like, every week, even though you let the people in the cohort pick the time, like, I just feel like the mindfulness path is the way to go.
yeah,
If cohort or do both. Shit. I mean,
mhm,
got it, do it.
yes. Thank you for that, spoiler alert, side note, the mindfulness path is, like, currently my most favorite offering, because it's been so good for me too because, like, I've always wanted to, like, do a daily devotional, like, a book, actual book, but, like, this has, like, allowed me to work on my channeling because, like, sometimes I'm just not aware that it's happening, and I'll just say something, and then I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute." Okay, when I get the feedback, but it's been good to hear. So I do hope more people join it. I think it's just yummy. It's a yummy, yummy experience. Um, you said something or like actually I wanted to talk about what you do now because I know you have this matrix job and you've been talking about your business as well, Calidat. Um, and if y'all don't know, it's calidatbotanica.com. I'll leave the link when I post this. Stephanie has also been very, very vocal about being a land steward and just the importance of land and our importance to take care of the land and develop a relationship with it. And you have this offering that really brings us together as a community. Can you talk about that one?
Yeah, so when I came to Substack, I was like, where the niggas at, right? And I found Jackie Verbal and I found Blackstack, right?
Mhm.
I found her through your live, right? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this where the niggas at. Bet. Okay. So I went to Jackie's Spirit led me to Jackie's website.
Mhm,
She has this thing where she like basically will get on there with you for, I don't know, like maybe like 45 minutes. I think it's an hour and a half, but I got that ADHD. So 45 minutes is the most I can do. And she got on there, she looked at my website, she talked to me about what I could do to like, get my Substack together and really help me promote my business. And she actually said, "Tell me about what's most important to you." And I was like, "Land stewardship. Like Gaia is my mother. Nobody can tell me differently.
Mhm.
I am her child, and it is my duty to make sure that the rest of the world honors and respects her. And what
Mhm.
way can I do that?" It just so happened that it was Black History Month. And I got to thinking about how our ancestors, when they were stolen and brought to this land, they would put the seeds in their hair so that they could preserve, you know, that and diet, grow those foods here, and also it was like a connection to their ancestry, to their land. And so I was like, I love when I come home from work and or if I had a stressful time and somebody has written me a letter or I get a card in the mail. It's just like great to have like that experience of like coming home to like a nice letter or a note. And I love having a pen pal, and why did we get away from that? Like, everything's online now, like, there's no analog communication anymore. And
Mhm.
I was like, "How can I combine that with land stewardship?" And me being a land steward, is very important that we collect our seeds, not them GMO seeds, but the actual open pollinated, you know, non-genetically modified seeds, archive them, and also share them. And that's when I came up with the Seed Swap Co-op. So basically, if you go to my website, you can sign up. It's $15 a month, which isn't a lot, y'all. Like you could
Mhm.
spend that in one day at Starbucks. So fuck with me, okay? And basically what it is if you have seeds of any type that are open, populated, and organic, meaning if you've ever been to the farm stand and bought seeds from an organic farmer, like, I'm sorry, not seeds, but grapes or cherries or a watermelon from the watermelon man, the watermelon that actually has seeds in it, not that shit from Trader Joe's, not from Safeway or Kroger. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the farm stand, the farmer's market. If you've ever bought fruit or vegetables, you can save those seeds, let them dry. I will send you an envelope. You will put the seeds in there and send them into me. You'll also fill out a little format or a little profile thing that tells me who you are, where you live, your climate, where you grow these things or where these things were grown if you didn't grow them yourselves, and also what kind of seeds you're looking for. Like, what kind of seeds would you like to have? And then I'm going to thoughtfully match you with someone else who sent in seeds. And then I'm going to send you the seeds you're looking for. I'm going to provide your seeds to someone else who's looking for them. I'm going to keep a few for myself. Full disclosure here because I'm archiving them. Okay.
Mhm.
But then I'm also going to give you a little like snapshot of the person who the seeds came from and allow you guys to stay in contact. Like, what better way to build community than over the seed share? And so, with Jackie's help, we wrote a seed archival article and published it on Blackstack, trying to
Mhm.
encourage people to sign up. So far it's only me and Danielle that signed up, but that's fine because I know it's coming, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm not going to give up. My Virgo rising will not let me quit.
Yeah. My Virgo moon is the same way.
Okay, so you might as well just surrender. Okay, drink the Kool-Aid and come over here.
So wait a minute, I just realized something. Cause you're a Gemini moon, right? In the Virgo rising? I'm a Virgo moon and a Gemini rising.
Oh Lord, that's why I showed up in your life. Look.
Yes. That's beautiful. Okay, so first of all, the seed swap, I feel like it's very, very, very important in this time because of all that's happening in this world with the idiots who are in charge somehow, some way, this new cult that's in charge, it's important, it's essential for us to now archive history in that way because seeds are history and to really build community in that way. So I really hope that y'all do tune in and take advantage of that opportunity because that's not necessarily a I've never seen that offered before, and I think that's a perfect, way for us to not just connect with the earth, but connect with each other, because as we know, we're all connected together, and what better way to connect us than through seeds? Like, literally.
Right.
So that
Guys, let's be real. Like, the best way to fight this current administration is through self-sufficiency. You need to learn how to grow your own food and medicine. Bottom line. You can keep playing and thinking that the day is never going to come where you can't go to Safeway or Kroger and get your food, but that day may come. And I'm not one of those like doomsday preppers or nothing like that. I'm not that.
Mhm.
But I tell you what, if the zombie apocalypse ever does come, I got my weapons and I know how to grow food. And I'ma have the seeds. So we ain't gonna have to live without the strawberries and the watermelon. We gonna eat good.
we gonna have watermelon still. I love it, I love it. And I can attest to the fact that Stephanie does like to send care packages because she gave me these for my birthday with some other goodies. So I'm very, very grateful for it. So I know too, like to your point, it's gonna come. Just like more people are gonna show up to that mindfulness path because it's me and you right now, but it's gonna grow. And that's just it's just so needed. It's needed medicine. The seeds and everything. I love it. So I want to take us back a bit, and then I'll end the live because you said something too that I wanted to hit on. You said you didn't like the way you smelled, and you had to take a step back. And the honesty that and bravery and courage that it takes to even have to admit that is in this day and age, in this time, when we all feel like our ish don't stink. Like, I want to talk about that for a bit because I know that it's not easy to be honest with yourself that you're not who you been pretending to be. So take me through that journey, please.
I think for me, I just got tired, like weary to the point
Mm,
where I was literally just going through the motions every day. You don't realize how deep the programming is until you smell it on yourself.
mm,
Colonizer mindset is so ingrained in our culture, the hustle culture, the cancel culture. They don't want us to be connected. They want us on these devices all day, every day, chasing a dopamine hit that will never satisfy us. That will never be me
mm,
ever in life. I choose better for myself and for my family
mhm,
and for my tribe that I am now building through the matrix that they have created.
mhm,
The only way you could do that is through radical honesty. To lay yourself bare and say, look, y'all, I stink sometimes. But guess what? I'm working on it. And it was through losing a really, really important friendship who was actually the person that showed me that living authentically is a freeing way to live that I was motivated to do the work and to make a real effort to show up for myself every day. Um, like I've always been I'm a Scorpio, so I dive deep. I really surface shit do not like It don't entertain me.
Same, yeah.
Pop, miss me with all of that. I
Mhm,
don't wanna do it. If it's not deep, I don't wanna do it. That don't mean I don't like to laugh and have fun. I'm not
mhm,
serious all the time, but I wanna talk about real things that really matter, and, the only way I could do that is to get real with myself,
mhm,
period, bottom line. So, I just started writing about the things that I was ashamed to share because I learned that if you're honest, like brutally honest about everything, then
mhm,
nobody can shame you. You control the narrative. Yep, it was me. I did it.
mhm.
But that's not all of who I am. Like we all have some Jesus and some Judas in us.
Very true.
Not only that, but I need it for my community to trust me because I can't be out here trying to give y'all this grow your own game and y'all feel like this bitch is hella inauthentic. I had to be my real, raw, roughest self for y'all to trust me to teach you how to grow your own food and medicine.
Mhm,
And so I just, look, it was scary.
mhm,
Uh, it was anxiety inducing,
mhm,
but I am better for it. And I'm starting to find my tribe who will support me through this growth phase that I'm going through.
mhm,
Because like people think you get to the big age of 51 and you done growing. No, 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 no. No, no. And just like the article I posted today, growth is just like dishes and laundry. Just when you
mhm,
think you done, here comes some more.
mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I love that analogy because I have to do laundry.
Right.
I got some laundry to do right now, but no, like, I love it because that authenticity is needed in this world right now, especially in doing the work that we do. Like, even though you may not lead as a spiritualist or this or that, like, being in the earth and growing your own food and things like that is very spiritual. And you don't have a lot of people who are in those type of positions who are honest and who are authentic about what they're actually going through in real time, which is why I make an effort to do so. Like with y'all in the cohort and even like on my Substack, it's like, man, it's about to be a year. This I'm about to be free. So out of this cult. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. But it's like that rawness is needed. And when we're raw, we allow the opportunity for others to be raw as well. And I think what's, difficult for people to be raw is, one, just colonize minds, like, "I have to be this person of authority, and if I'm this person of authority, that means I'm perfect." And then 2, it's, fear, really. Like, if I'm honest with who I am, maybe you won't like me. Or, like, maybe you'll judge me. And it's like, people are gonna judge regardless, either way. Whether you lie to them or show up as your true self, so you might as well be judged for your truthfulness, than live a lie. But I love this talk.
Fun. And it was real.
It was very real.
I just want to thank you. I know this is not part of the script. It's not like we had script going into this, but I just want to thank you for sharing your gifts in a way that a lot of people would not do because in order to do what you do, you have to lay yourself bare as well. And I've seen you share things that I know were probably uncomfortable. And the way that you support the women in the cohort, it's a delicate balance. It's gentle, but it's firm at the same time. Like you don't let us play in our own faces. And I'm sorry, but nobody needs a friend that's a yes man. A
Mhm.
real friend is going to call you to the carpet every time. And you are a real friend. And I thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. You're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry. Oh, goodness. I appreciate that so much. I thank you so much for seeing me. Like, I really, really do. Um, okay, now we have to end.
Well, y'all, she gonna tell you what my website is. Sign
Yeah.
up for the seed swap. Sign up for the mindfulness path. Sign up for the cohort. Quit playing. Fuck with us.
All the links will be in the description of this video. Peace, y'all. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Love you.